SungateKids is a child advocacy center. We provide a safe, friendly place where a child doesn't have to be afraid when they're talking about the most difficult thing they've ever experienced. SungateKids is hope. This is a case of a 4-year-old girl who was molested by a neighbor, a man in his 60s.
He put some baby oil right there.
Then what?
And he tried to put it in.
This is a child who understands and knows things that no child of 4 years old should ever know about or should ever have experienced.
With your hand? What'd you do?
Do it up and down.
Up and down?
Child sexual abuse is one of the most underreported crimes. 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys will be sexually abused before reaching the age of 18. This is a subject that's hard for people to talk about, but it's important. In this case, the perpetrator was convicted and sentenced to many years in prison. We consider that to be a victory.
Aurora alone sends roughly 350 children a year to SungateKids for these forensic interviews. As wonderful as my detectives are, they're not as good at interviewing child victims as the professionals at SungateKids. The level of service they provide not only to our investigators, my detectives, but to the children who are victims is just tremendous.
Kids are able to come to SungateKids to tell their story, to have a safe place where they can feel heard, and that it supports the emotional trauma that they're going through. It's very effortless and very seamless to be able to obtain the services that we need and to be able to have kids seen immediately.
And also, I think what Sungate brings is the climate, this building where the kids can come, their families can come in a very safe, relaxing atmosphere. You just can't do that in a police or a sheriff's department setting.
The important thing is that we have the child in a place where they can tell their story, where all of the facts can come out, and where law enforcement can do a thorough investigation. SungateKids is an important part of the community here because we are the only advocacy center for the 18th Judicial District. That's Arapahoe, Douglas, Lincoln, and Elbert counties. SungateKids serves about 700 children each year, from some of the most urban parts of Aurora to some of the most rural areas in Lincoln County. We interview children as young as 2.5. We interview children as old as 18. We also interview adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And those are very different kinds of cases, so we're flexible enough to accommodate all the clients that we see.
This is Pella. She helps us to get information from kids who just are uncertain about communicating with strangers on really tough subjects. The dog in itself is quiet and calm, and so then the child can kind of disassociate from the things that are going on around them. It really makes it easier for children to kind of relate to them on that level.
We strongly believe that when a child is victimized, the entire family is victimized, which is why it's so important to us to offer ongoing services to the family.
Sungate can provide counseling for these kids to help them move along with their lives and try to live a normal, healthy life.
Concurrently with those groups, we run education groups for parents and caregivers. Raising a child who's been a victim of sexual abuse is a very different proposition, and those parents and caregivers need support as well.
One of the things that always goes through our minds is this could be our child. It's so crucial that we provide the best possible support to those victims. We couldn't be successful without SungateKids.
Children who are victims of crime, they have an amazing level of resilience, and with the appropriate services, these kids and teenagers have such a chance at a normal life.
We have helped over 15,000 child survivors, and I know that with the help that we are able to give them, they are able not just to survive, but to thrive and go on to have full and happy lives.
SungateKids, truth, hope, and healing.
SungateKids.org